Hi guys, Andy Kidd here, and today I want to talk about how we are taught to do certain exercises and how we might be able to actually question the way we're taught to do those exercises. And the example I want to give today is the plank. And what I'm going to show you is the standard way, the mainstream way that we're taught to do the plank. And then we're going to do an alternative way of involving doing the plank involving breathing. And I want you to see the difference and feel and experience the difference that both do on the body, and how it's best if we actually change our ways of doing that, because there's certain ways that we're going to show you is going to have a certain impact on the body. One is going to be negative and the other is likely to be better, positive, and going to feel more like a positive. So the first thing is obviously going to go into the plank, and we're going to first go into the mainstream way of being taught how to do the plank, and we're going to go from the knees because it's best way to see how very little can have impact on the body. And so if you're an athlete and you can do the proper plank, just go with the knee plank for now, and just it's all about experiencing the difference here. So what I'm going to do is go into the plank position from the knees, which is obviously the medium difficulty one. And also in this position here, what we were taught to do is actually tense up the stomach in this position, maybe the glutes as well, but tense up the stomach, and then we transition into the position here. Okay, and maybe we will actually drop the shoulders, but mostly we're tensing up the stomach, making sure the tense and making sure the focus is on the core muscles, keeping us elevated in this position. And we're not going to spend too long doing this because we don't have to. This is a demonstration exercise. And drop. Okay, so what we're going to do, the best way to actually experience the differences is we're going to actually stand up. And so in this position, you can tell basically I'm just feeling where the body wants to go in this position. And where the body wants to go is into a kind of slumped position. The body's almost heavy. It's kind of the stomach muscles are pulling it down and slumping the shoulders. Shoulders want to come forward. I look at my wrists and my knuckles, they're pointing forward. And basically, if I go an arm test, my arm wants to go to this position here. Okay, which is pretty bad arm flexibility if you think about it, because the posture's compromised in this position. Okay, so if I was to go and do maybe some hip flexor stretches in this position, I go to a point, I can feel a stretch in this point here. And in this position, if we go into the point, I can feel a stretch in this position here, which means that for me personally, that's tight hip flexors, and that's really tight for me. So you can see how the standard way we want to actually, how we deal with core and how the impact that has on the body is quite negative, isn't it? Because none of us want poor posture like this. This is bad. This is going to lead to injury, probably back issues, and probably hamstring issues if you're an athlete. So what we want to do, I'm going to show now, is to go on to the way to do the plank with the breathing as the priority. Down in the position again. And what we're going to do now is we're going to incorporate the breathing into this exercise. So what we're going to do is the plank position again. Get the microphone out of the way. What I'll do is first we're going to take a few deep breaths. Now you should go over my video on how to breathe properly, because what we're doing here is mostly breathing. We're going to be breathing mostly through our belly. Okay, so you might need a bit of practice to do this, and a bit of practice because actually doing this and doing an exercise is a little bit more complicated. So go back to my video on breathing and try and actually perfect this, because it's very important. But what I'm doing now is going to introduce breathing as the priority in this exercise. We're not concentrating on tensing the stomach up. We're going to concentrate on the breathing aspect of it. Okay, so what we want to do is go, firstly, before we do that, we take a few deep breaths through the nose and out through your mouth. And you can probably see as I do it, my lower back start to rise and then lower. So once again. And from doing this, we're going to transition into the plank again. And we're going to just keep on breathing. And one more time. and then we low again. Okay, and then we're going to stand up like we did previously. Okay, so now I can sense a complete difference there. Okay, so what I can feel now is my chest wants to rise. So again, we're looking to where the body wants to be. Where does the body want to be? It doesn't want to be from previously is slumped forward. My body wants to be here. Okay, I look down, my knuckles are pointing to the side, outwards in this position here. My chest is risen. When I do an arm flexibility test, it goes straight up towards the ceiling. Okay, so we're being strict as possible, keeping the elbow up and back down again. There's far more movement in my shoulders when I do it. The body wants to explode practically outwards. My posture is better, my chest is risen. Now let's test the lower leg flexibility, maybe a hip flexor stretch. And if I go into that position there, I can go much deeper, and I can actually go back. My hips have completely opened up in this position, and I can go much deeper behind me. And that shows you the difference that each core exercise do. One puts your body in a dysfunctional state, a slumped shoulders, and the other, when you introduce breathing, puts you in a kind of exploding state, a state to perform. Your flexibility is far better. Now, to do it, obviously, when you're doing advanced exercises, when you're previously, let's say you normally do the plank from the feet, which is, if you're an athlete, that's probably where you normally do from. You probably want to cut back and do it from the knees, cut back the intensity, difficulty of the exercise so you can incorporate the breathing into it. If you do the plank, if you think about it, if you do the plank in a more advanced section, you're not prioritize breathing and you're actually tightening up the stomach and you're putting your body in a dysfunctional state. How's that going to help your training? How's that going to help your recovery? You're going to be less flexible state, and that's going to lead to injury. Now, what's better? To pull back the difficulty of the exercise, introduce breathing, which puts you in a better performing state. So this is just an exercise just to show you the differences, how we're normally taught to do the core, a simple core exercises, and probably what's a better way, what's the priority best. Douglas Heel from Be Activated has a motto that the body wants to do two things: to breathe and to move. And if we can't do either, then we die. So breathing is paramount to all we do, to any kind of movement we do. So obviously, it would be best to make sure we're doing breathing properly. So go to my breathing video just to make sure you're breathing properly, practice it, and then incorporate it into that exercise. Maybe you're able to see the difference already, but try it out. Try these two variations out and see the difference it makes to the body. I hope that video was helpful for you. If you can, please comment below. If you like the video, please like it, and obviously if you can share it, I really would appreciate it. And if you would like to know more, then please email me at andy@thegreatathletenexus.com. Thanks for watching.